Hi everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Chris. Chris, we are so glad to have you back with us.
Thank you.
Wait until you see the disaster that was me in the kitchen all by myself today. I've kept it hidden so that Chris can't see what I did. It's going to be a real treat to reveal this. But in the meantime, we have two recipes that actually do work, one from Chris and one from me. Chris, this first recipe is a red sauce, and you got it from a cooking show, correct?
I got it from an Italian cooking show on the Food Network, and as they were going through it, it looked really good, and it was to plan, so I was very excited and thought I would share it with everyone.
Super. Thank you, Food Network.
Yep.
Please invite us on your network. So anyway, you'll see Willow, by the way, in case you didn't notice, she's in the background here today too. So, the red sauce.
The red sauce.
Take us through it.
Okay, so first we're going to use 15 ounces of crushed tomato, no sugar added. So you want it to just be tomatoes.
And this one actually came from Trader Joe's. This is for all of us who, unlike Elaine, do not can our own garden stuff.
Oh, wow.
So this one is no sugar, no salt, nothing at all. So if you're a salt person like me, you may add salt, but the recipe does not call for it.
Yep, and the ingredients are just organic tomatoes and organic tomato juice and a little bit of citric acid. So.
Citric acid is a preservative for anyone who doesn't know that.
And this will be in a food processor, so I'll just go ahead and add it in. Hopefully it'll all fit.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, my itty bitty little Costco processor.
And then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of olive oil to that.
So obviously this is not the lowest calorie of red sauces, but because it's going to be so rich in flavour, you're not going to need to use as much of it.
Right.
Oh, I didn't pre-open for you. I'm
no
bad.
worries.
Take us through the rest of the recipe while I fiddle with the lid here.
Okay, so after the olive oil, we'll put in 2 teaspoons of fresh lemon juice, 2 cups of basil leaves, just fresh basil leaves here, and a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic. We said a 1/2 teaspoon because we have this pre-crushed garlic here, but you can use 1 clove of fresh garlic if you'd rather use that.
All right, we're in.
Okay. And this would go perfect with our meatball recipes
Oh,
that
it
we've
would
done
too.
already. Okay.
So the key to a rich sauce like this and keeping it on plan and, you know, within reasonable calories is using a lot of flavors like the garlic and the basil so that you're not using as much of the sauce. That's how you end up with less calories on your plate overall.
Okay, where's our lemon?
Oh my gosh. I can't believe it, everybody. I actually forgot the lemon, but if only you could have seen Jason right then. He looked at the look on my face and went streaking out of the room into the kitchen that we have here. And we are very much hoping that Jason has a lemon. So
We'll go on. Okay, so after you put in your teaspoon of lemon juice, you'll put in a teaspoon of fresh lemon zest.
Saves the day.
Thank you, sir. Got it here?
All right, I managed to bring the squeezer, the zester, everything else, and not the lemon. Dearie me. If you want to squeeze that just right in.
Will do.
Oh my gosh, that is funny.
Okay.
While you're taking care of that, let me zest
Okay.
that for you.
I'll put this in. 1, 2.
Oh, do you like the smell of that, puppy? Licking your lips there.
And just 1 teaspoon of that. And I'll go ahead and put in our basil. Hopefully it'll all fit.
And you don't have to do anything to it? No,
No.
cutting it up?
Well, the food processor should be able to chop it up pretty good, hopefully. I did take it off of the thicker part of the stem, so I just have the leaves themselves here.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought I had to do something to it before it went in there, because you're quite right. The whole concept of my food processor is to slice it for me.
Now this is going to be pretty full. I may not put all of this in.
Oh, squeeze it in. It'll be fine.
Okay. And you do have your blade. Is it at the
yes,
bottom?
the blade is in there.
Okay, just wanted to be sure.
I promise I remembered everything but the lemon today. And let's see,
Just a
did we put the
teaspoon of
garlic
zest.
in?
Oh. Okay, and for garlic, 1/2 teaspoon.
Now again, Chris and I are big into bold flavors, so if this was me at home, I'd have added the full teaspoon before I even tasted it,
Yeah,
because I just can't get too much garlic in my life.
I like it too. And this is just a basic recipe. You can add rosemary if you want, oregano, whatever your favorite Italian spices are.
I was surprised not to see salt and pepper on the list.
Yeah, it's pretty good without it.
See, Chris, unlike me, actually tried this week. Okay, sorry about my fingers, but there we go.
Perfect. All right, there it is. Some there. Okay, plug your ears. We'll get an idea. There's one leaf that was
It's just refusing to see.
refusing to mix in, but we'll get a
Oh,
good idea from
nice.
this. There we go. All right. Now, obviously, this is room temperature. You can heat it up, or if you're making something in the oven, you could put it in like this.
Here we go. Ooh,
What do you think?
I like it. I would add salt.
Okay.
And most canned tomatoes will have salt in it already, so if you if you do buy the ones without, I would add a little salt
Mm-hmm.
and maybe a little more lemon zest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I'd remembered another lemon, I probably would have thrown some more in.
All right. So there's
Did
that
you
recipe.
like it?
I like it. Yeah, I add, of course, a lot of pepper to it.
pepper.
So I usually don't use salt at all when I cook, and then I put oregano in mine and some Italian spice.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Something else. What? Oh, duh. I would put something spicy in there.
oh,
Mine would have some cayenne pepper or something like that.
yeah, that'd be good.
So yeah, I
Alright.
think that's a really good basic recipe, like you
Right.
said, that you can add different stuff and
Mhm.
build on, and it's pretty.
Yes, it's
You'll
very
like
pretty.
it. Cool, success.
Alrighty.
So on to the day's big failure.
I'm
Chris
afraid.
emailed me. I know. I'm afraid to show you. Trust me. Chris emailed and said that she had seen a recipe for a zucchini pizza base. And Kate, we're talking to you. We know that you miss pizza. We miss it too. So we're trying. We're working on it. And so Chris said it's just 2 eggs and 3 cups of grated zucchini, and press it into a pan and bake it, and you'll have a pizza base. And I thought, I can do that. Well, I didn't have a pan to press it into, so I had to use a flat baking tray. And this is what happened.
Ooh,
It's kind of a zucchini pancake.
interesting.
Yeah.
The one thing, when I sent you the recipe, my intention was to test it out on my own. I didn't know that you were going to forge ahead. The person that gave me the recipe said, make sure you put it in a colander and put a heavy pot on it and let the zucchini drain for at least an hour. You need to get all of the moisture out of it, or it'll be mush.
Yeah, it really is mush. I did add just a pinch of salt because I tend to do that. And I did actually drain it a little bit. You can see the kind of burnt bits around the edges here are where I set the pan just sort of on an angle and let it drain for a while, and then baked it. And it tastes very much like a zucchini omelette, where you have the ratios wrong and not enough egg and too much zucchini.
It looks
So
pretty.
It does look pretty. And, Willow happens to love zucchini, and this will be partially her dinner. So,
So the recipe I had was 3 cups of grated zucchini and 2 eggs. Beat the eggs, add it to the zucchini after you thoroughly dry the zucchini. Press it into a round pan, bake it at 400 for 10 minutes, and it's supposed to be very good. So if anybody wants to test it out, I'll test it out on my own, and we can play with the recipe and get it to work.
and then we can show me how to really
Good
do
effort,
it.
good
Yeah.
effort.
Points for trying, right, everybody? Not every foray into the kitchen is a success for me, and this proves it. And I know a lot of people have been saying lately, I don't know how to cook, and I'm nervous about trying things. And you know what? You just throw yourself into it and try it, and sometimes it wins, and sometimes it's the dog's dinner. Oh, well.
At least it's not ugly.
That's right. So the last one I have is a modification of a recipe from one of my clients, and it's for baked sweet potatoes. And I served this one year at Thanksgiving, and it was such a hit because, for a start, in Australia, we don't have Thanksgiving. That's an American holiday, obviously. And, I got here, and I love the concept of Thanksgiving, but the idea of putting marshmallows on sweet potato is just wrong to me. It's weird. I don't understand brown sugar and all that stuff. So I came up with my own stuff. So what I did was I just washed thoroughly and roughly chopped sweet potatoes. This is the 3-pound bag from Trader Joe's for about $2.50 right now, which is great. And so I put them in the oven, I put a drizzle of olive oil over them, and I don't pour from the bottle. You know, pour it into 1/8 of a cup and then drizzle it over that 3 to 4 pounds of potatoes. That's a good ratio. I cooked them at 375, and they were probably in there for the best part of an hour, but about halfway through, you know, I sort of turned them all around and everything. So what comes out is some very, very, very soft sweet potatoes. Now, you have two choices. If you'd baked this as a whole sweet potato, you could scoop it out, put it with the mixture that I'm going to show you, put it back in and rebake it. That's pretty good. I'm a little less patient than that, and so this is where the recipe gets modified. I bring the chunks out, and for myself, I like the skins. Not everybody loves it. I happen to really like them. So you can either leave the skin on or peel it off, and when they're this soft, the skin will just come straight off like that. So put whatever your serving size is going to be, or if maybe you're making several servings, into a bowl. And then the onion mix is the easiest thing in the world. Actually, that one wasn't soft enough. This one's good and soft. The softer the better for this. So nice and squishy. Now the onion mix is, I used a brown onion, but you could use shallots as well. Any of the, you know, kind of sweeter onions, even a red onion actually works pretty good for this one. So I chopped up the onion, and this here is about 2/3 of a cup of the onion. I start to cook it down in a pan. If you're using non-stick, that's fine. If you're using a pan that could stick to just the teeniest little, like, 1/4 teaspoon of coconut oil, just so that it'll brown up really well, is good. When the onions are about halfway cooked, add 2 teaspoons of balsamic vinegar, and then let them cook down. Now, they don't come out very pretty. I know they sort of look a little bit like burnt bits of onion, but they're actually very soft and super delicious. So all I do is a serving size here for this amount of potato, which is, what's that, about 1/2 cup of potato. I'm going to look at about 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of the onion. You can literally just arrange it on top so it looks pretty, or for myself, I like to just mash it through. And this is one of those great things that you can cook the day before if you're doing it for a Thanksgiving. Mash it all up, and then on the day of, just throw it back in the pot or back in the oven and warm it up again, and of course the flavours will be all through it, and it'll be super delicious. And you can see those sweet potatoes are so fully cooked that they just mash really easily. I wish you could smell this.
It smells really good.
A little sea salt if you want to, but it looks festive, doesn't it?
It does.
Which is kind of strange for summer. It's not really the time to be thinking of Thanksgiving, but I'm obsessed with Thanksgiving at the moment. I've been planning it already. So do the taste test.
Will do. Oops.
It's just a little different, isn't it?
It's very good.
The balsamic is magic. So this actually is really good with steak too. That's another favourite of mine, to have it with steak. Turkey's fine, chicken works well as well. So there you have it, folks. Not our most successful cooking show, but lots of fun anyway, and that's us, isn't it? Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye.